So today we've got a super fun concept that I play around with a lot personally and has been super helpful for me. I think it's just a very practical idea and it's pretty easy to understand. And the options that you have for playing around with it are pretty much unlimited. So I want to break it down for you guys today and hopefully you enjoy. So let's get into it. So today, the idea that we're going to be breaking down is the idea of manipulation. Now, you can utilize this idea whether you're freestyling or choreographing, it doesn't matter, but I really think that this is a super powerful tool that you can incorporate into your style and that will really just change the way that you dance. And I think also just make you feel empowered over your body when you're dancing, if that makes sense. Something that I've struggled with when it comes to freestyle is not feeling like I have all the tools or the information that I need to actually do it well. And I think that this idea has sort of helped me to break that thinking in myself, because manipulation is all about utilizing your body to explore new pathways and generate new ideas. Now, obviously, that's what all movement is about. But for me, when it comes to manipulation, my body really starts to feel more so like a tool that I have access to all the time. And so I hope that it can feel the same way for you guys and that this concept is helpful and makes sense for you. So basically, when we're talking about manipulation, I think an easy way to understand it is utilizing one body part to move or to direct another body part. And that can look like 100 different things. And really, to me, that's the only stipulation for playing around with this idea. One body part moving or directing another body part specifically. And you can do this by physically touching your two body parts together. So let's say that I'm going to manipulate my knee with my hand. I can do this by grabbing my knee with my hand and moving it in different ways by physically touching it and creating that illusion, even though it's not really an illusion, but utilizing it to create the effect that this body part is only moving because this other body part is directing it. Now, you can do that by physically touching the two body parts together, or you could do it without doing that. I could use the same two body parts and sort of imagine that my hand is leading my knee instead of pushing it. Or I could push my knee without touching it. Typically, I'll go the tactile route, physically moving whatever part of the body I'm playing around with, but you can play around with it either way. Now, the cool thing about this exercise is that there's a lot of freedom within it. There's not necessarily a wrong or a right way to do it. I think that there's more effective ways and less effective ways to do it. And I think for me, one thing that I think about when I'm playing around with this idea, or really just any idea in general, is to just be clear about what you're doing. You can do anything, but I want to make sure that what I'm doing, at least to some extent, is understandable and clear enough that people who are watching can understand what's going on. Just being clear, direct, and intentional about how you manipulate your different body parts, I think is super key for this idea. Like when I manipulate, I don't want to just kind of like half-ass it type of thing, you know? I like to be super clear with the ways and the directions that I'm taking my movement. Now, when it comes to actually doing this idea, I think the default route is to start by utilizing your hands to move everything, which is not bad. And I probably utilize this more than I utilize anything else. I do want to encourage you guys, because I encourage this in myself a lot, to expand your horizons of what could be possible with this idea. It doesn't always have to be your hands manipulating every part of your body, right? Even though that's cool and there's a lot to explore within that, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's just also a lot of other ideas that you can play around with. Like instead of using your hands, maybe you could utilize your knees or your feet, or maybe you come down here and it's your elbow. So just thinking about and being open to other ideas. Obviously, your hands and your feet are going to be the easiest to play around with just because you have a lot more access to them. I think a super important idea whenever we're playing around with a freestyle concept like this is to just give yourself the freedom to explore and to play, rather than worrying about making it look super cool or everything being super perfect and seamless right off the bat. Just allowing yourself the space to explore and to experiment and to look dumb, although I don't know how you could necessarily look dumb when you're trying something new. It's not about performing right now. Right now it's about exploring and experimenting with new ideas that you can then take and incorporate into your style however you choose to do so. As you continue to refine your ability to incorporate these ideas into your practice, things will start looking better automatically. but you have to give yourself the freedom to work through things that maybe feel awkward or look awkward in your mind, but truthfully are just setting you up to have more freedom. Even if what you're learning is what not to do while you're doing an exercise, that's still extremely valuable, because then you know your boundaries and you know what you want your movement to look like and how you want it to feel, but you didn't limit yourself right off the bat by not being willing to explore maybe some new ideas that didn't feel comfortable right off the bat. Now, a couple more concepts that we can play around with when it comes to manipulation. Some basic ideas are simply pushing body parts, pulling body parts, twisting body parts, throwing, grabbing, bending, directing, moving without being tactile, using body parts like magnets. I think about this like using the Force in Star Wars, and so much more. So those are a bunch of different ideas that you can explore as you're getting started with this idea. There's just so many different ways that you can play around with this idea, and I've personally found it to be super helpful. I'm sure there's a lot of ideas that I didn't cover today, so if you guys would like a part 2 for this video, be sure to comment it down below, or if you would like any more clarification on this idea, just be sure to let me know. I'm here to help you guys out. Comment down below. Feel free to check out the shed on Instagram. You can contact me there. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I encourage you guys to just spend some time exploring this idea, maybe turn on some music, and just take a little bit of isolated time to explore this idea on its own. Try not to put too much pressure on yourself in the beginning, and just allow yourself to explore some of these ideas, even if they feel awkward or weird. As you continue to do that, things will automatically become more refined, and chances are you're already doing better than you think you are. So give yourself some grace, and just try to have fun as you explore ideas like this. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace out.